Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking a bit about guitar tuners. We're not going to cover every kind of tuner because I've got some other ones that I definitely want to show off a bit later. But today I am going to touch on one particular tuner that I've been using for a very long time. So, just kind of wanted to start with reminding us, okay, what are tuners good for, right? And if you are an intermediate or advanced guitarist, then feel free to move along to the next part. But just wanted to kind of remind us, okay, why are tuners helpful? So, of course, tuners help us as guitarists to know the correct pitch to which to tune our guitar. That wasn't great English, but anyways. But tuners help us know where to tune, right? Should we tune up? Should we tune down? And that's really essential for producing good music. If you're not in tune, if you've got kind of some tuning issues, in fact, I actually need to take my guitar to the guitar shop to get some things adjusted on the neck because I'm having some tuning issues. But if your guitar is in tune, you're going to produce great sounding music, right? So tuners are really important for that reason. And some guitarists will use, of course, their ear to tune the guitar, and that's totally fine, right? You slide up to the 5th fret and you tune all the way down, right? And you can move it. So there's methods that are out there where you can actually use your ear to tune the guitar. And when I don't have a tuner, of course, I'm glad to do that. So it's great to learn that as well. But when you have a tuner, it's more accurate. Okay, depending on who you ask. But for most beginner to intermediate and a lot of the advanced folks who maybe don't have perfect pitch or whatever, right? For the rest of us, right? Tuners are going to help us be more on pitch with our tuning, and then of course it's going to produce a better sounding song or melody, whatever you're playing on the guitar. So tuners come in many different forms, of course. There's clip-on tuners, there's pedal tuners, there's smartphone tuner apps, and let me just go ahead and give you my quick opinion on these. And if you disagree, feel free to leave comments below and tell me why you disagree. That's fine. So personally, I think that clip-on tuners like this and pedal tuners, which I have as well. I use Polytuner. It's a Polytuner basically. Those two tuners I prefer because they're more accurate. Because they're now smartphone tuners are fine if you don't have anything else on hand. But these two, they're designed to tune instruments. Clip-on tuners, pedal tuners, they're designed to tune it. Like, that's the whole reason for their existence and their design, right? Is to tune your guitar. Smartphone microphones are fine, but smartphone microphones are meant to do a lot of stuff, right? They're meant to make phone calls. They're meant to send voice texts. They're meant to record videos. They're meant to record voice memos, right? So the guitar tuner apps, although they work fine, I've actually found them to be really finicky because of ambient noise in the room. And a lot of folks don't realize that, which is why a lot of my beginner students have a really big problem with guitar tuning with smartphone apps. Is because, right, if I'm sitting here and I'm tuning my guitar, say I'm tuning the A string, right, 5th string, and I'm tuning it, and there's something remotely like off in the corner, right? Or say the air conditioner kicks on, or the fridge, kicks on or something, or if you have siblings screaming in the background, that's going to really affect what the tuner on the phone is hearing. And a lot of my beginner students get really confused because the guitar tuner app is picking up all those things, and they're like, why is it F sharp? Oh, all of a sudden it's C, now it's A, now it's B flat, right? So honestly, these isolate, the clip-on tuners isolate sound, the pedal tuners isolate sound. Now, if something's super loud and you're playing with other instruments who are also tuning, or they're playing in a certain key, whatever, then yes, your guitar's gonna be vibrating, and yes, it's gonna pick that up. But if you're just tuning by yourself, I think these are great. I think these are great. And even in those environments where you do have ambient noise that's pretty loud, they're still gonna do a pretty good job. As soon as you strike the string on your guitar, okay, maybe not strike, but whenever you play that particular string on your guitar, it's gonna pick that up. because it's designed for that, okay? So, clip-on tuners are the most common type of tuner, and they just simply clip to the headstock of your guitar. And if you've taken any lessons with us or anywhere else, then you know that most people recommend, hey, get you a clip-on tuner, unless they're super old-fashioned. And they'll recommend, hey, get a pitch producer tuner, basically, or get an old-fashioned tuner that it basically listens to your guitar out loud, right? Kind of like a smartphone. Now those would be a step up from smartphone, I think, but a step down from clip-ons or pedal tuners, because again, ambient noise, right? However, clip-on tuners are the most popular type, and they can just be attached to the headstock of your guitar. So you'll play each of your strings individually. Now some tuners you can play all 6 of your strings. We'll talk about that later on when we talk about another piece of equipment that I recommend. But so stick around, hit subscribe if you haven't yet. If you want to stick around and hear more about that. But these are the most popular kind, and I think probably the most efficient for beginner to intermediate, and probably more advanced folks as well. So basically they work by just detecting the vibration of the string and the frequency of the vibration of the string, and they just display the pitch on the screen. Now if you played with one of these before, and you've tuned with it before, you know that, but for beginner folks, of course, you'll literally just turn it on, attach it to the headstock of your guitar, and it'll show you a letter, and it'll show you basically a meter of where you are, how in tune you are, right? If you're slightly below, it's going to go one way. If you're slightly above, it's going to go another way. If you're dead on, it's going to be straight in the middle. So this particular kind of clip tuner is a Snark. Okay, so I'll put this in the comments as a link. You can go there and check that out as well. But this Snark tuner, I've been using this thing for a number of years. Okay, so some of my other videos I've basically said, I love these pieces of equipment. These are wonderful, and so on. Okay, so Snark tuners, they are pretty good. Like I'd give it like a high 3.9 on this. Okay, all right, let me be a bit more gracious. I'd give it like a 4.4, okay? And the reason for that is, I don't know what happens, but somehow over time, these tuners, they actually begin to, I don't know if they begin to like deteriorate or something, or maybe the battery starts dying or something over time, or just, they get old, I don't know. Again, I've been using this same brand, same style of tuner for years and years and years. And I keep having the same problem where I will put it onto the headstock of my guitar, and after about a year and a half, maybe max, I'll start having to tune some of my strings by ear, because I know that they're off, right? I can hear it when I'm playing guitar. I'm like, oh, that's the second string and it's sharp. And that's usually where it is. That's usually the problem. The second string is usually sharp, so I have to tune it down a little bit. But the Snark says the B string, right, the second string, is in tune. And now recently it's actually started doing it on the 5th string as well, the A string. So it's done great for a lot of the time that I've had it, but it's kind of become a bit of a pain, and then you got to reach out to the Snark, and then you have to, so, and I'm not some big like influencer or something, but I don't know. I wish they would maybe run some tests on it or something, and I've asked, and anyways, but let me just tell you, it's still getting like a 4.4, okay? It's still a really great tuner, especially like for the first year, and they're, honestly guys, they're pretty cheap. If you have to replace it, like, it's not really a big deal. So Snark tuners, and they're compact. You can just toss this in. I mean, maybe not toss it, right? That might be part of the problem. No, but just, you can put it in your case. It's not going to take up a bunch of room, like some other tuners. And it's reliable. I mean, it's not gonna die on you. The battery's gonna last a really long time. And for the most part, for like a good, like I said, year and a half or maybe 2 years max, it's gonna be in really really good shape, and it's going to tune your stuff really well. Okay, so again, the Snark Tuner is great, and one of the reasons why it's really important to have something that's accurate is so that your strings are in harmony, basically, with one another. Because if you have something that's slightly off, and music theory is a wonderful thing, and complicated, and beautiful, right? And complicated. I say it's complicated, but the whole system of how sound waves work and all of that, and how they interact with one another, it's just so wonderful. So, but you know, if you have that slightly off, then it's not really going to sound all that wonderful, and you're going to kind of sound like, you know, it's like, oh, like everybody can kind of tell something's off. You know, if you're a musician, you know it's out of tune, right? If you're not a musician, you're just kind of like, that doesn't feel great. So tuning is super, super important. So it's really important that you have a really great tuner. So Snark, again, like I said, fine. It's going to work for what you want to do, and it's super portable, so it's going to fit in your guitar case really, really well. So one other thing that I wanted to say about this particular tuner is so some of them come with like extra features, right? So there's like a metronome on, you know, so there's different iterations of this particular tuner. I don't particularly need any of those iterations with the extra stuff. I just want a really simple tuner that's going to tell me, is my E string right? Is my A string to 440? You know, that's what I want. That's what I want to know. So if you get a really complicated Snark tuner, I don't know that it poses the possibility of something else going wrong, or if it maximizes that or minimizes, I don't know. But for me personally, I just like the bare bones Snark tuner. And again, like I said, I've been using this for a really long time, and it's my tuner of choice, right? Even though I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it near the end of its life, maybe. But it's my tuner of choice. It's most musicians' tuner of choice. You know, most guitarists, at least, that I know and interact with. And it's trusty, you know, so it's gonna last you a while, and it's gonna do really well for what it's worth. So in sum, right, in conclusion, I like the Snark tuner. I give it like a 4.4 out of 5 stars, and it's gonna last you a really long time. It's gonna work really well. Just keep an eye on it kind of near the end of its life, and again, that might be a battery issue, could be an internal hardware issue, hardware issue. I don't think it has software, and you just kind of want to keep an eye on it later on, because it could be misleading, you know, with some of your strings, with some of your tuning. Okay, so I like the Snark tuner. I recommend it. It's great for beginners, great for intermediate, it's great for advanced, and it's going to last you a long time. All right. So if you have any qualms with this video or my views here and expressed, feel free to leave comments below. But yeah, I would love to hear any comments or questions that you have about this particular tuner or tuners in general. And then, you know, if you've got any recommendations of any other clip-on tuners like this that you think would work better, or if you've got a really great smartphone app that you're like, hey, no, this one's really great, feel free to comment and send that as well, to benefit all of us. So yeah, so thanks for checking in. If you would like to purchase one of these, of course, I'll leave the link below. And then otherwise, feel free to look around the channel, see if you want to watch anything else. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to kind of keep up with what's going on, feel free to do that as well. So that's it. Thanks for stopping by.